Okay, so for whoever is watching this, I'd like to say welcome. By the title, you can probably guess I'm going to be talking about mental health. I don't have a script for this. I don't really know all the things I'm going to say. Uh, I also apologize if you hear like my mom or anybody else in the background. Live with my parents, it is what it is. Also, I'm doing it without my glasses because the lights were just going crazy off of them. Like, the video screen would just be my glasses shining in your face. But anyway, uh, I'm deciding to make something like this right now because, holidays are coming up, and for a lot of people, they may be having a harder time during this time specifically, Thanksgiving, Christmas, the family holidays. Um, and I don't want to just get on here and just tell you things like, oh, it'll just be better. It'll get better. Keep trying. You've got this because that's not exactly constructive. I mean, it's nice if you can have that hope, but not everybody can. Not everybody has the same drive. And I guess I just want to kind of, in a way, spread awareness on the subject. I mean, June is like, was it June or July or something like that? Is Mental Health Awareness Month. Um, I should also have another video coming out hopefully this month on like kind of the same topic. But when for people who don't know what things like depression feel like, one example might be like if you go outside and it's a sunny day and the sun is like right on you, uh, normal person's gonna be like, oh, the sun feels good, it feels warm, but someone who's depressed, they'll be it's like they don't feel the sun at all. It's there, it's blinding them, but there's no warmth. Or maybe even something like, um, your heart is kind of like a black hole, like it absorbs everything, but it can't get anything out. Um, I've known a person or two that hasn't really had these issues, and I hope anyone watching this doesn't. I mean, I've had my fair share of depressive episodes, I guess you could call them. Um, I've been around many people who, I shouldn't say many, I've been around a few people who uh, consider taking their own life. I've been around people who have attempted to do that, and it can be hard to help the people you care about. Or if you are the depressed person, it can feel like there's no one that could help you. We all, you know, get lost on our paths and our journeys at times, and it's the best way for people to really help those who for those to help who are depressed is really just letting them know you're there. I mean, you can't really force people to open up about things, and these conversations can be really hard, especially when like someone doesn't want to disappoint you, or they want to have a good image, something like that. Or even just talking about it in general can just be hard just because of the subject. Um, so just for the people that might be worried about others, do your best to be around. And honestly, uh, one little thing I've read, I haven't truly tried it. I might have tried it once, but I don't remember what happened. When someone is like really like dug in a deep hole. Like their mind is like they're stuck in whatever sad or angry or whatever it is. Um, it can apparently work to like say something kind of random, like I don't know. Do you want to go take a traffic cone from one of the construction sites? I don't know, just something random, and like apparently that can help like snap them kind of back. Like, wait, what? What did he say? You know, kind of bring them back to your not necessarily reality, but kind of like a more grounded level than they may have been. That's just like one small trick you could try. But for the people who are depressed, and I mean, there's a whole range of reasons, whether PTSD, whether, just depression, whether bipolar, whether almost any kind of mental disorder can be linked with some depression, typically. I mean, not all of them, but for the most part, they can all have a symptom of it. So for everyone kind of like me who has struggled, I think a good step to really trying to help yourself is just understanding why we're sad. What's the reason? You know, we're not always going to be able to do things about it, at least instantly. Like if you're a teenager or just a kid or something and you're having these feelings or thoughts, you can feel pretty powerless to do anything about it. You can't really go anywhere. I mean, I guess you could try. Hopefully you know other people that care about you if like your family or something like that is being bad. But then there's things like soldiers returning from war or other PTSD things, whether it's watching somebody die in their face or whatever the cause. I don't I don't want to make it sound like that what happened is just ever going to go away, because whatever we've been through is going to stick with us probably forever. I mean, you might be able to get some kind of mental block going, but I don't know how healthy that would be for you. The bad things that happen in our lives, I mean, they're more than just like what shape us. They're literally our shadow. Like all the bad things we experience and can do, that's a part of us. And the passage to the soul is a tight window. Being able to navigate the tricky the tricky process of feelings and the causes, the symptoms, it can be daunting, especially when you don't even feel like getting up. Like why do you care what you have? I mean, you just want to die or whatever the question is. You just don't want to exist, or you know. So I'm trying to understand what it actually is a great first step, and you can do nowadays you can do any of that on your own. The internet is at pretty much all of our fingertips. The library. We have to be careful with what we read online, but you can understand more about yourself without actually having to self-diagnose yourself in a way. Like you don't have to give yourself some medical like, oh, I have BPD because of this and this. It makes it all sense. Like it's okay to read the material and attribute it to you without like giving yourself a firm stance until you do see some sort of professional or somebody that could give you more insight onto what you're actually reading. Outside of trying to understand why you're sad, I mean, it's everything is a personal journey. I'm lucky enough to have pretty much always had friends that were there for me and I could talk to. It doesn't mean I really always did or talked that much. I know I've put a lot of people in my life through a good amount of stuff. We hold on. We're much stronger than we usually give ourselves credit for. Um, whatever the cause for your issues are, and I really wish I could say, you know, that it'll will get better, it'll just go over, but a lot of the time it does depend on us. And we do have to make the effort to get better, and that's the hardest part when you don't feel like anything, you know. Anybody who can manage to do that has an incredible amount of willpower. And anyone who struggles or even can't, it doesn't mean they don't. It just means they need a little more help or a specific kind of help or some other factor to get them through whatever it is. We're all going to need different kinds of support, and needing help is not a bad thing. It's not a show of weakness because everybody isn't good at something and everybody will need help with something. Anyone who says otherwise is just full of shit, or they're so overconfident that you probably should not give them any more time. We need to be careful, especially around friends, but even strangers too. Because even when you joke with friends and stuff and you say this and that, I have some asshole friends that can say some kind of assholey things, and I can do that thing right back. But at least in the past, when I was really going through things, a comment or two could get to me. It could make me feel worse. I can have a pretty crass sense of humor, and so can some of the people I know. Taking into account what we're saying can matter a lot, because one comment can send someone who's in their own head spiraling. They they can get triggered. And one of the things I hated hearing the most was like, "Be a man, man up." You know, it's like I was obviously insecure, but these comments coming from family or friends just made it compounded on itself. Like if a random person told me that, it's like, okay, you don't know me at all. But when like family or a friend says something like that, it can hit a little closer. The razor can be a little close to the skin. So I just ask, keep in mind not to go too far with the things we say, especially on people who are either more sensitive or are struggling more, or need a different approach for a time being. We all want to, obviously, well, I can't say all of us, most of us usually don't want to hurt our friends and all that, so that's a big thing to keep in mind. So, being there, watching our words, and depressed people and whoever else, we have to keep in mind that, you know, these people aren't always trying to hurt us. Like if your parents give you a good scolding or something, I'm there's a good chance it's coming from a place of, love and wanting better. We're not always going to say the things the correct way. I've said plenty of things that didn't come out right or I didn't mean to say in a certain way. Um, but it's okay. We have to, it's just a process that we have to internalize, like after the fact, like, oh darn, I did that, I shouldn't have, or, oh, they said these mean things to me. But were they just being mean? Like, were they being too harsh? And they absolutely could have been, but there's still merit typically to the people that are trying to help us in one form or another. And we have to do our best not to over dramatize the things that are said to us, because it's like, you need to get the fuck up and get a job or this and that. It's like, well, he didn't have to cuss at me and yell at me, but he's probably true. I don't do this or that. And I'm not talking about myself here. I'm 9 to 5, well, 9 to 3 or something, but being more aware in general is good advice I can give for, you know, people in general. And then I know people have a kind of like a, I don't know if it's like a stigma or just like a distrust in in like suicide hope lines or stuff like that. And I don't know. I feel like just whatever can help you get to another day is good progress. Now, I mean, a lot of people will take that and then like do drugs or something. Yeah, I guess the drugs are helping you to get to another day, but that's not really what I mean by helping yourself. Um, just finding little tiny ways to like enjoy something throughout your day, whether it's just like a little bit of ice cream or maybe a gallon of ice cream. I mean, it's not like it's a cigarette and you probably won't die from it unless you eat like a gallon every day, but that's besides the point. Ice cream, or if you liked walking the past, walk. I can't say that it will do the wonders for you because during my times, I like to just shoot basketball a little bit. I would just shoot a hoop, and I ended up shooting basketball one day. Uh, I had done it, plenty of times before that. I did it that one day at my grandma's, and then I went inside. I got uh, tremendously drunk, and I ended up calling 911. So obviously, just doing something you enjoy isn't necessarily going to fix it, but it's just small things can add up. I still enjoy shooting around, and one of the things that really helped me during my times, this was like, it's 2025, so this was about 7 or 8 or 7 years ago. um I really got into Pokemon again. I had always enjoyed it as a kid, and then I was just in bed, I'm pretty sure just on YouTube or something, and then I saw somebody playing like some Pokemon, or it was like Pokemon montage or something like that. But regardless, that really got me interested in something for like the first time, and probably since I had graduated high school. And I didn't really know that it's at it. Hold on, okay. I didn't really know it at the time, but it was kind of like a wake up call. Not really a wake up call, but it was like a reawakening almost. Like, wow, I do kind of have fun and care about things. That's crazy. This feeling, I like this. I had played games all the time, and I had always liked games, but they weren't filling the same spot they had for a lot of those years. So being able to find that in the midst of it, like some of my homegirls could tell you, like I was playing Pokemon at like parties and stuff. Like I was just in a corner or in my car, just like staring at my 3DS or whatever I had with me. And it's like, it's for me, it's what I needed to get through, and whatever it is for you, whether it's like listening to the same song 100 times, or it could be anything, art, science, rocks. it's all a game. It's all fair. That I think will help you the absolute most. Everybody I think needs a hobby, something they can pour their time into, maybe even their heart into it. Um, with all of those things, I think that would be the biggest possible step you can take to really enjoying life again. Um, and just another little side note, for most of, well, I shouldn't say most, all of my life, I've never been in a relationship, so I would always feel like, I either wasn't being man enough, or, I wasn't this or that. I didn't have this confidence because, no one ever seemed to want me in the same way, but I'm sure nobody exactly wants to hang out with someone who's like, oh yeah, I could really go for a knife to the throat today. That most people aren't too thrilled to be about people who think and even maybe act like that. So that's a bit of my own fault, but it just comes with time and learning that I can look back on these things and kind of be like, wow, I was kind of wild. And I still, to this day, have my depressive moments. I still have bad days. I mean, the bad things that have happened to me, I'm gonna, remember them forever. They're always gonna be a part of me. If the people who, all the tears I've seen in my life, all the people, like the people who have begged me to make it stop or this and that, and wanting everything to end, like I can't get rid of that, but I can't accept it. You know, it doesn't have to hurt. It doesn't have to hurt me the way it wants to hurt me. And yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure uh, what more I want to add on at this exact moment. Just trying to keep the video going a little bit. If anyone who sees this has any comments, want to share anything in the, down below, that's fine. I'll be reading them if anyone posts anything. It's not like I have like 2 million subscribers and I can't keep up with like the 500,000 people commenting me. I'm just some dude right now. But yeah, with I hope everything I said gets taken into mind. Um, we don't have to let our conditions define who we are. You know, we can. We have more than one side to us. We have more than one aspect. And for the people who are like stuck in a situation, just it's hard. Um, but we have to keep going. I mean, I can't tell you that there's someone in your life who does care about you because there's decent chance I won't know you, but I like to think that I care. If you say something, in comments or whatever, I feel like I would care if that was shared. So, just know you don't have to be alone, even though the world can be a pretty cruel place. There's many paths we can take. I do my best to help everyone I know that's in a dark place, but I'm only one man. I really can't do everything. That's why I need everyone who can help to do their part, you know? At least try. Do something, please. I'm begging you. um, yeah, I mean, I really, I really hope this video has helped anybody. Hope it was mildly interesting. Um, it's just with depression, and that's just such a weird concept to me. It's because, like, what advantage does being sad have? It's like one of those water wells that you find in like malls and stuff. It's like, it's there, But why? Maybe that was a bad analogy, but I don't know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Uh, I think that's about all I have for the moment. I mean, I might add something post credits if I think of it, but yeah, you'll see the video length. Um, yeah, let me know what's up. I hope y'all have a good day, good holidays. I'll have some more videos out. Peace.